Jasper County field organizer out here for the Bernie Sanders campaign. Yeah. We've been working for months to build a transformational, multiracial movement for everyday working people to get Bernie Sanders in the White House, right? That's right. I need you hyped. There we go. So, as you know, thousands of committed volunteers have been doing the work. All of our efforts, knocking doors, making calls, they're beginning to pay off. As you know, Bernie Sanders is surging right now, right? That's right. It's because we know he's the right person to lead us in this moment. He's surging because of you and me and the work that we've been doing together, right? That's right. He's surging because, well, now is our moment, right? He's surging because now is our moment. This is our moment to make a strong finish. And tomorrow night, February 3rd, we shall seal the deal, right? I want to talk to you about tomorrow night. I can't emphasize enough, everything hinges on us showing up to the caucus in overwhelming numbers. That's what it's going to take. And that means everyone here following through, showing up at your caucus location on time. This is the single most important thing. You have to show up to the caucus tomorrow night at 6:30. Doors open at 6:30 and they close at 7 o'clock. They will not let anyone in after 7. Okay? If you don't know your caucus location too, you can go to berniesanders.com/Iowa. You can type in your address and you'll be set. It'll show you right there. Okay? Now, we need everyone here to call and text your people. Make sure they have a plan to show up to caucus and they know where their location is. Take a little time tonight and tomorrow. Go through your contacts. Reach out to your people. Tell them why this is important to you. Okay? We don't want to wake up Tuesday morning feeling regretful that we didn't do enough, that we didn't make that final nudge. Now, finally, we need everyone here. Where are my organizers at? King! Now, finally, we need everyone here to knock some doors, okay? Tonight, we're going to go right after this. This is your last chance. You can be part of history unfolding, a political revolution, a crucial moment in a political revolution, a historic political revolution happening right now. It's great. Thanks, guys. This is the home stretch, folks. What we do right here in Newton, Iowa, what we do right here in Iowa tonight and tomorrow will set in motion everything that we need. The political revolution that is going to bring us Medicare for all. The political revolution that's going to bring us a Green New Deal. Right? Political revolution that's going to bring us free public college. We're going to put a check on big pharma, big insurance. This is for big us, right? Now, this is a political revolution that is bringing everyday working people together. Okay? We unite. We can do this thing. Now, it's up to us. This is our time. This is our time. This is our time. Let's finish strong. Let's not only win, let's crush this thing. Okay? Now, it's my honor. It's my honor to present National Co-Chair, Senator Nina Turner.
Thank you, Kira, so very much. Now, we heard what she said about making sure that you get to caucus on time, not being late. We need you to bring some friends and some frenemies, too. We taking all comers in this revolution. It is such a pleasure to be here, and I understand that this community has suffered some job losses, Maytag, I believe. And in terms of corporations, you know firsthand what the greed of some corporations do to dismantle and harm communities like yours. I am from the great state of Ohio, so I understand what rotten trade deals have done to take away jobs from people in my own home state as well. But isn't it a beautiful thing that change is coming? So for every one of you who are here, who have already knocked on doors, who are willing to knock on more doors to make the phone calls, Kira is absolutely right that when we win the great state of Iowa, and baby, we will win the great state of Iowa. They're going to be rolling some tape of this right here when we declare that we are going to win the great state of Iowa. But when we win, it will be because of people like you in this room, people like you all over this great state, and people like you all over the country who are sick and tired in the same way that Senator Sanders is of the greed and the corruption in this nation. He is the one to stand up. He has said to Wall Street, I'm coming for your greed. Pharmaceutical industry, I'm coming for your greed. Fossil fuel industry, I'm coming for your greed. Because guess what? Everyday people in this country deserve to live a good life. You deserve to live a good life. Poverty should not be criminalized, but it is in the United States of America, and we aim to change that. Hello, somebody. So the struggle is real. And just because we have some folks who don't have the same righteous indignation, who do not understand that in the wealthiest country on the face of the earth, it is absolutely immoral, economically not sound, not to have universal health care. If every other industrialized nation on the face of the earth can have universal health care, why can't we? We can have it. It's about political will. You got a president who just gave a $1.6 trillion tax cuts to the wealthiest people and corporations in this country, many of whom pay zero in federal taxes. But meanwhile, back at the ranch, when Senator Sanders says that we're going to cancel student debt, people want to question, well, how are we going to do that? Well, you know what we're going to do? We're going to take that $1.6 trillion that you just gave away to the wealthiest people in this country and give it to the workaday people of this nation. Hello, somebody. We're not going to take it. It is about political will. The wealthiest country on the face of the earth. Makes no sense whatsoever. So, sisters and brothers, you do deserve better than what you have been getting. And Senator Sanders has been on a crusade for justice all of his life. And sometimes when I think about what 20-year-old Bernard Sanders was doing at the University of Chicago when he was the president of CORE, when he was standing up against segregation and discrimination at that university in housing, where they would not allow black students to live in the same facilities with their white sisters and brothers. And may I just pause for a minute? Can we all just pause for a minute? This is Black History Month. Can we do that for a moment? Black history is America's history. Hello, somebody. I need some help on that. He was at the University of Chicago, and he stood up for students going to school in Chicago in K through 12 schools. That picture, that receipt that you see of Bernard Sanders being arrested is a receipt for him standing up for justice. I am not sure if he knew in that moment in his life that he was being prepared for this moment right here. Hello, somebody. When he was mayor of Burlington, doing the right thing on the housing side in terms of housing trust. And then when our gay, lesbian, transgender, and queer sisters and brothers said we want to have a parade, we want to be right here front and center, we want to declare our love right out in the open, then Mayor Sanders was saying, why not? Let's do this thing, before it became politically popular to do. Hello, somebody. And then in the House of Representatives, everywhere the senator has gone before he had the fancy title that he has right now, and we can roll the tapes, baby, hashtag receipts, you will see Senator Bernard Sanders 99.9% of the time right there where the workaday people need him. And he didn't wait. We didn't even have to go that far back. Baby, he was standing with the Fight for 15 folks, marching in the streets, using his cachet with SEIU and Fight for 15. Got 400,000 of our closest family and friends a wage increase, $15 an hour. Hello, somebody. So if the senator can do that before he even takes office, imagine what he's going to do as President Bernard Sanders. Hello, somebody. Can y'all feel that? Walmart workers had the opportunity to ask any of the 100 Democrats at the time running last year to go before their stakeholders and speak up on their behalf. But do you know who they selected? they selected Senator Bernard Sanders. The number one teaching profession donating to this campaign, teachers. Hello, somebody, teachers. We got nurses, we got Walmart workers, Amazon workers, postal workers, you name it. All of those folks are a reflection of the working class people from all backgrounds in this country. They already know who the champion is, and his name is Bernard Sanders. Hello, somebody. So let me just say this. Senator Sanders is indeed 78 years old, but baby, we about to make him 46. Come on, come on, come on, somebody. Come on, baby. He will be 46. That's what we are going to do. And that's why this campaign is not about me. It is not about him. It is about us. You know, Sister Helen Keller once said that alone we can do very little, but together we can do so much. That is the foundation of this campaign. That is why it is about not me, us. It is how the senator, before he was senator, has conducted himself decade after decade after decade after decade. Baby, can't nobody handle this. They can't stand up to his consistency. Baby, this is real. Somebody who doesn't see from the castle, but he sees it from the streets. And he understands from the street view that far too many people in this country are suffering no matter what the stock market says. When somebody is charged $1,600 a month for one prescription, something is wrong with that. When somebody spends one night in the hospital and they're charged $27,000 for that stay, something is immoral about that. When parents can't look into the eyes of their babies and say, baby, you can go to college. Whatever you do, you can go to college. Something is wrong in this country when it costs more to go to college than anything else in this country. When people are trying to elevate themselves, we have a street view leader in Senator Bernie Sanders. He won't sell us out. He won't let us down. He doesn't kowtow to the wealthiest people in this country because, baby, he's taking $0 from billionaires. His only special interest is you and you and you and you and you. Come on, somebody. It's time. You deserve better than what you have been getting. So our agenda is not radical, it's right on time. If you're among the working poor in this country, it's right on time. Not radical, right on time. We are in a right on time movement, multicultural, multi-generational, multiracial, and multi-gendered movement. So can you do something for a sister? I'm about to bring up somebody who's near and dear and close to the senator's heart. Hello, somebody. But y'all know I got to do this. I do this everywhere that I go. Can you raise one hand for yourself? And one hand for somebody else. Now, I need you to feel this thing. The great Dr. Maya Angelou once said these words: have the courage to stand up for yourself and then the courage to stand up for somebody else. And with these hands, we will have Medicare for all. With these hands, we will have college for all. With these hands, we will cancel student debt. With these hands, we will cancel medical debt. With these hands, we will make a legal system more just. Hello, somebody. With these hands, we're going to get women their whole damn dollar. With these hands, we will deal with climate chaos. With these hands, we will have transcendence. And with these hands, we will elect Senator Bernard Sanders, the 46th president of the United States of America. Come on with me. Come on with me. Now, it is my absolute pleasure to introduce the woman beside the man. Come on, somebody. The one and only, the next First Lady of the United States of America, Dr. Jane Sanders.
Good to be back in Newton. Is this on? Yes. It's good to be back in Newton. I was just here 2 days ago, but it's wonderful. And I just want to say a few words. It's an honor to be here to introduce Bernie, and I just want to just say a few words about him. The first time I heard him speak, he embodied everything I believed in, and that's when I got politically active again after leaving politics for a while. I still feel that way. He still does. After 40 years, I can't be more proud to be at his side than I am. So during this campaign, Bernie and I have traveled the country. We've traveled throughout Iowa, and we've talked to a lot of people, probably a lot of the people here. What we have learned is that people trust him because of the moral clarity that he has demonstrated throughout a lifetime of work. That's tremendously important right now because we have in the White House a president who has not demonstrated that moral quality, and we think that he's the most dangerous president in modern American history, and we need a candidate who can defeat him. The good news is that candidate is Bernie. The best way to fight lies and bigotry and hatred is with truth and love and compassion, and that is what this campaign is all about. That is what you have all made it about, and we thank you so much for being fantastic examples of what we espouse, what we believe in, that we need to be a community that supports each other. So thank you. Bernie's a candidate that Donald Trump will not be able to vilify as hypocritical or inauthentic. He's very consistent. With Bernie, what you see is what you get. So I just want to point out that right now, beyond it being a tough race, it's an important moment in this country. We seem to be at a crossroads, and the direction we choose will say we're going to transform this country into the country we all believe it can become, or we're going to go with the status quo, or we're going to descend into real difficulties with a President Trump continuing in office. That's something we cannot afford. We are America. America went to the moon 50 years ago, and I would like to suggest that we do have our moonshot be justice this time. Social justice, racial justice, environmental justice, economic justice. And with President Bernie Sanders fighting for the promise of working people throughout this country, we will get it done. He's the president we need, the kind who doesn't only make promises, but makes change, the kind who not only raises hopes, but fulfills them, and the kind who not only praises peace, but attains it. If we stand together, we're on the verge of an historic victory, and it all starts here in Iowa. So my request of you is to please keep, even Super Bowl Sunday, maybe not make too many calls, but during the poll, Super Bowl itself, but keep door knocking, keep speaking to your friends and family, keep texting, keep working as hard as you can to get Bernie elected here in Iowa. If we stand together, there's nothing we can't accomplish. And it's not just about you going to caucus. Please get your neighbors, your friends, your coworkers, anybody on the street that you see. Come on, bring them with you to caucus. And if we achieve this here in Iowa, we will continue that all the way through. Thank you so much. And let me introduce the man of the hour. It's my distinct honor and privilege to introduce my husband and the next president of the United States, President
Thank you. We have squeezed a lot of people into a small room. So I want to thank all of you. We're going to head to Des Moines and do a Super Bowl thing in a while, but this is actually the last canvas organizing event that we have done in this campaign. And I want to take this moment, because this has been a long campaign. We have done well over 100 town meetings and rallies. We have spoken to tens of thousands of people. And we have put together, I think, an unprecedentedly strong grassroots movement. So this is a moment I want to thank the people of Iowa for their hospitality and thank them for their seriousness of purpose. I think the people of this state get it, that in the most consequential election in the modern history of America, they go first tomorrow night. And I think people have been thinking hard about what kind of candidate they want to support. Thousands of people, I'm sure, have gone to different meetings, talked to different people. And I just want to say a deep expression of gratitude to the thousands and thousands of volunteers on our campaign, including many in this room. And I want to tell you something, and I want to just tell you what this campaign is about and what makes it a different type of campaign. In the last month alone, despite the snow, despite the bitter cold days, not today, but other days, our volunteers in a state of 3.1 million people have knocked on 500,000 doors. Now, I don't know if any campaign ever has done it, but that is just an extraordinary accomplishment. That's what you are doing. So what I believe is TV ads are important, and we got TV ads, and radio ads are important, and we got radio ads. We got newspaper ads. But you know what's most important is you. Is your willingness to talk to your neighbors and your friends and your coworkers about the crises that our nation faces, and talk to them about how we can go forward. And what I want to say to you tonight here is it's not just in Iowa. I just talked to our New Hampshire director. In New Hampshire, this weekend, they've knocked on tens of thousands of doors. In California, they're knocking on doors. In Nevada, they're knocking on doors all over this country. And the reason that we are doing that is that we believe, and what our politics is about, is the only way we defeat Donald Trump, the most dangerous president in modern American history, the only way you defeat him is when we have the largest voter turnout that this country has ever seen. And the only way you get that turnout is when people stand up and they're willing to go out and knock on doors and talk to their friends and make them understand that it's not good enough to complain about not being able to get by on $10 an hour. We know that. Not good enough to complain that you can't find for your kids quality, affordable child care. We know that. Not good enough to say that there are hundreds of thousands of bright young people who cannot afford to go to college, and tens of millions who are leaving school deeply in debt. We know that also. It's not good enough to complain that you can't afford to go to the doctor when you are sick because you don't have any health insurance and you can't afford the co-payment, or you got a $5,000 or $10,000 deductible. We know that we have a cruel and dysfunctional healthcare system. We know that. Doesn't do any good to complain about it. Doesn't do any good to complain and scratch your head about how we have a president who doesn't even recognize the reality of climate change, let alone do anything about it. We know that too. We know we have a broken and racist criminal justice system, an immigration system which is out of control. We know that we have gun violence in this country that has to be dealt with in a way that does not please the NRA. And we know that women have a right to control their own bodies, not politicians. We know all of those things, and millions of other Americans know that as well. But our job now is to take our issues and put them on the table. Take our issues and organize around those issues. And what I've said before, I will say here tonight, what the political revolution is about is not just our agenda, which stands for the working class of this country and is telling Wall Street and the insurance companies and the drug companies, the military-industrial complex and the fossil fuel industry, they cannot continue running this country. The American people will run this country. But it's not just our agenda, as strong and powerful as that agenda is. It is the grassroots movement. And I want you all to know here in Iowa that you are part of an unprecedented, unique movement. It is multi-generational. It is multi-racial. It is bringing blacks and whites and Latino people, Native Americans, Asian Americans, gay people, straight people together. Finally, around an agenda that says we're not going to let Trump divide us up because of the color of our skin, where we were born. We're going to stand together to create an economy and a government that works for all of us, not just wealthy campaign contributors and the 1%. That's what this campaign is about. So in this unprecedentedly dangerous moment in American history, when we have a president who is a pathological liar, we have a president who is running a corrupt administration, we have a president, gives me no pleasure to tell you, but you know it, who is a racist and a sexist and a homophobe and a xenophobe and a religious bigot. That's who he is. That's the way it is. That in this moment, in this 2020 election, this enormously important election, this state goes first. And tomorrow night is the beginning of the campaign. So my request of all of you is to do everything that you can in the next 24 hours, to knock on doors, to talk to your friends, to get on the phone, to make sure that we have a large turnout tomorrow night. Because I've said this before, and I'll say it again. If there is a low voter turnout tomorrow night, we're going to lose. This is a tight election. If there is a large voter turnout, we're going to win. So my request to you is stand up for democracy, stand up for justice. Let us tomorrow night have the largest Iowa caucus voter turnout in the history of this state. So Iowa, and let me thank just again all of our volunteers, our staff, done an extraordinary job. I'll be on a plane tonight, back to Washington. Tomorrow I'll be back to Iowa. And we'll look forward to a victory tomorrow night. Thank you all very much.